Will film photography still be around in the next 50 years? Well, I personally hope so. And for film photography to endure over the decades, it will require companies to continually innovate and help film photographers like us. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Probably the most useful film photography accessory that has come out over the recent years, and one that I've been absolutely loving. It's a light meter and a distance measurement tool all combined in one. This might look like a hot shoe light meter that you have probably seen before, but in it is one special feature, and that is a built-in laser distance measurement tool. Made by a Chinese company called Qi, this sits on top of your hot shoe, and it combines probably two of the most essential features when it comes to making photos. Now, many film cameras do allow you to check exposure if it has built-in electronics, and you're also able to focus using either a prism if you're using an SLR or a rangefinder mechanism. But there are some really beautiful cameras out there that do not have any of these features. For example, the Hasselblad SWC, the super wide camera, which I did review in a previous video, so check that out if you're interested in that. This camera shoots a super beautiful 21mm equivalent perspective, but on medium format. And it does so in a tiny, compact package. The only downside is, yes, it doesn't have built-in exposure, but it also doesn't have focusing dots or a focusing screen or anything that allows you to manually check focus in camera. All the while I've been using this camera, I've just been zone focusing or scale focusing, and that is just estimating the distance from the subject to the camera. If you have experience doing this, let's say with street photography or with a Leica and zone focusing, it will be no issue for you. But there are those times where I just kind of want to make sure I nail focus. Shortly after releasing that video for the SWC, I was contacted by Qi, the company that makes this, and they reached out and asked, hey, is this a product that you might be interested in checking out and reviewing? And when I saw it, immediately I said yes, because this will simplify so much for us. Not just with cameras like the Hasselblad SWC, but also like the Fuji Panoramic 617, another camera that I completely love. But this monster of a camera does not have exposure metering in camera. It's completely mechanical, less electronics to fail on you as the years go by. But it also doesn't have any built-in rangefinder system or a way to check your focus. And that's where this comes in. So let's jump right into what this does. First off, build quality. It's made of metal and it feels solid in the hands. On the front of the unit, you'll see where the sensors are, so the laser and the exposure meter, and also some branding, the LD meter designed by Qi. At the back of the unit, you will see a button which will allow you to take your readings. Now, this button is interesting because similar to a camera, this button has two steps. So you can half press it or fully press it and feel a click. On the top of the unit is a single circular dial, and this dial goes forward and backward, allowing you to set your different settings. For example, if you want to change your shutter speed or aperture. Also on the top is the screen, and that's where you'll see all the critical information. So the shutter speed, the aperture, the distance from the subject to the meter, and also your battery and the exposure values and your ISO. On the left side is a magnetic accessory mount, and on the right side is where you'll find the USB-C charging port. So this doesn't use external batteries, which is great. You just recharge it by plugging into USB-C. And you also can switch on or off the laser distance measurement by flipping a switch on the side. That's very useful if you say don't want to use the distance measurement function and just want to use this as a light meter. If you want to take a reading, just fully press the button on the back. And if you fully press and hold the button, it will allow you to enter ISO mode so that you can change what ISO speed your film is at. All in all, it's a really intuitive device to use. If you have used any form of light meter, you'll be right at home with this. There were a few things I wish were a bit different. If they were to release a version 2, I thought it would be very cool. Number one is, even though the dial on top is very nice to turn, it does feel high quality. When you're adjusting your aperture or shutter speed values, you do have to go step by step and slowly. If you try to turn the dial very quickly, the sensor just doesn't quite catch up. Just a small thing, but I thought that would be cool to improve in the next version. The next thing is, when I first heard about this and was browsing the website, I saw it advertised as being able to be used on a rangefinder camera and have the laser distance measurement dot or the laser pointer dot fit right on a focusing patch. When I saw that, that was one of the coolest ideas I've ever heard of. Because if you use this on, say, a Leica Barnett camera, those cameras are old and their focusing patches are known to fade and it's quite difficult to focus in low light. Just put this on, switch on the laser, and then it's much easier to line up your focusing. But when I received this, when I put it on my Barnett camera, it was just right in the middle of that focusing patch. But when placing it on my Leica MP, I noticed that the laser was a bit too tall. It kind of sits at the top of the patch, and it doesn't really work for subjects that are closer to the camera. When reaching out to Chi to ask about this, they said it was because all these meters are calibrated for the height of a Barnett camera, which is a much shorter camera. So what I thought would be amazing for the next version is if you are able to personally calibrate in the unit using maybe screwdrivers to adjust the height, the angle of the laser distance measurement point. And if you could do that, that will allow you to use this on a Leica M2, M3, M4, or even a Makina, a medium format camera. Say with your Makina, the meter is dead. You can put it on there, hit on that laser, and it will allow you to focus in low light. That will be just a complete game changer. But if you're looking for a simple to use light meter that also allows you to check your distance, this is something you'd definitely want to check out. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.